Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, September 26, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a reverse aging health call and all the rest tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. I want to make sure you're in a comfortable position, still as a statue, no outside interruptions, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath rising and falling. When we have full capacity of awareness, comprehension, and you look at the scope of everything, the mass existence of energy, which is all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. When you realize who and what you are, truly, and you're in heart-mindedness, and you have mastered the ego mind and your thoughts, you'll be able to move energy randomly, whenever, how often, all the time. You'll be able to see the movement of the energy. You'll feel it. You'll see it. You'll experience it. It's like an artist or a sculptor or painter when they create. That's what will be happening with us. We will know and feel the energy all around us, endless, and we'll be able to move it and sculpt it and manifest it into different forms. This is how universes are created. And when you realize that, if you looked at blank space, if you just looked at space out there, you would think, well, there's no, how am I going to create planets and this and that? The whole landscape, all of it, is pure energy, which is everything is created out of. There isn't anything that is not energy. For instance, you might look at a rock or whatever, and you'll say, yeah, there's no energy in this. There's no life in it. Not the kind of life that you comprehend. There's so many different forms of life. And so the rock has a form of life. It is energy. Well, how do we know that? Well, if you took a rock and you struck something with it, like a flint, you know what I mean? You're going to get sparks. It's impact energy. I mean, you could go on and on and on with every form of description of energy. And it doesn't take a lot to realize, and you get into the habit, which is a good habit to get into. It also moves you away from ego mind. And it's kind of like second nature. You just know that you can move things into form that you wish, that you desire, that you want. Now, your perspective is different than ego mind and heart mind because you're in a blissful state. You have full confidence, trust, and faith in yourself in this universe. So it isn't a matter of can I, right? It's a matter of when I. And getting into that habit and that comprehension takes a lot of courage because, as I've said in these meditations for years, I've explained over and over again the step-by-step process of moving. I mean, all of the principles and parameters, but one must accept and commit to that. And a lot of us will just go through this life and leave the body and incarnate again. So this is our natural state, our true beingness. And we use these bodies to direct those frequencies and energies into form. It says everything all around us and everywhere, not just this planet, in it, on it, above it, below it, the solar system, the galaxy, the universes, and beyond. It's one massive configuration of energy. And ready to take on any form that you wish it to take on. This is how powerful the gods that we are. You don't know that. In fact, even if you visit it, you doubt it. Or you fear it. You say, no, I'm not going to go there with that. What would I do with that anyway? Right? It's just fine where I'm at. And so be it. But there are some of us that say, I want to move on to new experiences. And I have been in the three-dimensional experiences for a very long time. And I'm deeply grateful for that. But now I am ready to move on into heart-mindedness, into divine awareness of divine perfection of who and what I am. And I am that which can never be harmed. I am the God. I am the kingdom of God. I am the heaven. I'm all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It's a fact. It isn't a debate. And when an ego mind, that's dangerous, because an ego mind perception, we have insecurity, we have doubt, we have distrust in ourselves first. We have confusion and all the rest of the stuff. And so when you direct through ego mind, it is dangerous. And this perspective, as far as wielding the energy and moving and creating things into form knowingly. Through heart mind, it's a cinch. Because your bliss and benevolence and happiness and joy, and knowing that you are the God of this pure consciousness, and you can create anything. But see, your perspective is different. You're not going to create something that's out of greed or lust or anything. You're going to create things that you embrace, that you enjoy, that don't do harm or don't destroy. And this is through heart-mind. Right now, if this civilization, this particular species on this planet, were to shift into heart-mindedness, everything that you see, all the stuff, all of the bantering and arguing and conflicts would vanish. It would be like a blink, and it would all be gone. There would be no interest in it whatsoever. There would be no interest in blowing up and burning down. There would be no interest in debating and arguing who's right and who's wrong. It would all vanish completely. And people say, well, I hear this a lot where people say to not only to themselves but to others that, well, it's only them and they can't really do anything. That's so far from the truth. You start with you. You clean the cupboards and you clean all of the closets and you open the windows and the doors and you begin to leave ego mind. You begin to go into heart mind through meditation. Okay? And this is how we do it. You're not going to do it, just footloose, fancy free, because you're in ego mind most of the time. And see, in ego mind, you get frustrated, exasperated, confused, angry, all of it. And that negates the very thing that you are embracing to be. And we know right now we have a specific amount of time, right, on this planet, time, right, and to discover who and what we are. We don't know how much time. All we know is that in the now, we're alive. And moment to moment, we're alive. This is how we can view it, rather than ego-mind yesterday and tomorrow. Worrying about something that's a year from now, a month from now, a week from now, a day from now, an hour from now. All it does for us is it compresses us, and it gets us frightened, worried, stressed, anxiety. I mean, a lot of things. And now you see why we suffer. We suffer in the ego mind. We suffer every day. We don't realize it because we're so used to doing it. Why do you think so many people on this planet are absolutely stressed out? They're stressed to the hilt. Why? Ego mind. It isn't a blame thing. It is a discovery. All right? It's an acceptance that, okay, the ego mind, this is what the ego mind is made of, and the ego mind is an illusion. Okay? Just like separation for us is an illusion. And we don't really think about that, really. It's not like we think about it. Because we're so distracted with material physical life. And you can get carried away. You start doing something, you say, I'll wait on this because I've got to do this over here. Right? And she said, I'll get back to it. But you never end up getting back to it. And then revisit it again, and you find yourself starting all over. And we have this mortality, right? By remembering our mortality, which means the body, we are not so quick to getting angry at our loved ones, nor becoming distant, judgmental, or critical with them. We tend to forgive everyone who has wronged us more quickly. See, this is a way to heart-mindedness and return to loving the real heart and soul connection that we do have. You look at all the time that we spend carrying grudges and being angry and frustrated and worried and stressed and fearful, rather than enjoying our lives. Well, you can't enjoy your life if you've got all this stuff going on. Well, okay, that's fine. You created it. Stop creating it and create things that you want. That's it. Stop creating all this stuff. Because it's like, it's like a barrel rolling, right? Going from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And we are in a perpetual creation of worry, stress, and fear. So we bring things in, right? We give them energy. We get these thoughts come in. We give them energy. We focus and obsess, and then we create, and then it comes into our lives, and then we experience it. But then you say to yourself, wait a minute, stop here. I am aware, and you embrace it. You don't get angry about it. I am aware that I'm creating this stuff in my life. I'm attracting it. So why am I attracting this? Well, it's ego, mind, influence. You say to yourself, well, I don't really care to attract these frequencies. I'm going to shift and focus on things that I truly, really enjoy and truly, really want in my life. It's just like deciding to be happy. You wake up in the morning, you decide to be happy. There's no reason to be happy, right? You don't have to have a catalyst. You just say, I'm happy today. Why are you happy? Because I'm grateful I woke up this morning. And I can walk and breathe and talk and look and all of these things. See, those are the things that we overlook because we get so distracted. We don't pay much attention to the gratitude that we could be expressing. And the gratitude, again, leads us into heart-mind. Right? Thankfulness and gratitude and appreciation leads us into heart-mind, not ego-mind. Right? Because remember, ego-mind just does not, it never stops looking and searching because it believes it's separate, and it's not separate. It doesn't even know it's an illusion. And so it keeps doing this over and over and over and over again. Seeking, searching, wanting. And then it gets, and it's fine, and then it, seeking, searching, wanting, and then it gets, and then it's fine for a bit, and then seeking, searching, wanting. It never seems to end. We don't catch up on that. Some of us get to the point where we say, I got to do something different. That's why I suggest that during your routine of the day, morning, noon, night, you really pretty much know the things that you're mostly going to do, day in and day out. So what you do is you just do things differently, do in different order, a little bit here, a little bit there. Do something, flip something, and do it in the opposite order. You'd be surprised what that does. It keeps us from becoming absorbed, overly absorbed in our little comfort hovel. It motivates us to stay in that comfort hovel. So and it's a decision. It's not anybody else's decision. It's yours. And that decision's got to be permanent. It can't be half-assed. Because if it's half-assed, then it'll just fade out, and you'll fall right back in to ego mind. It's exactly what will happen. And it's like, do you really, truly want to spend the next 1,000 years and lifetimes in ego mind? Really, do you? Because there's a whole lot of fun that we haven't even stepped into yet in heart mind. Major amount of fun. See, you don't really have to go out and physically interact. Send good thoughts to yourself and to anyone you wish. You sit and you say, okay, so who do I want to send good thoughts to, and who do I do not want to send good thoughts to, but I will? From heart mind. You have the power and ability to do this all across the planet. You could send thoughts to beings, halfway across the galaxy. Because the thoughts are energy. You give them boost. You give them energy so that they become what? An experience. Everything we think about becomes an experience unless we just negate it. Even though we send it, we can negate it and say, cancel, clear, delete, across all time, space, continuum, and existence. It's what we pay attention to. It's what we focus on. And you train yourself, and you get to a point where you can say, okay, I'm doing that. That's all right. Remember, kind, gentle, generous, and humble at all times with yourself. So this is what you do. And you practice it and practice it and practice it and practice it and practice it. Even when you start thinking, I've got this, practice and practice, 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 until it's automatic. This is the whole point. You train yourself where things are automatic. You don't even have to think twice about it. It just comes in. Gratitude comes in during the course of your day, every day, all the time. Right? Treating yourself with gentleness, kindness, humbleness, and generosity all the time, no matter what's going on. These are all key points that lead you to heart mind. Because some of us are on our way there. Period. We're on our way there. We will move into fifth density frequency, 5-dimension, whatever you want to call it. It's a higher frequency world, realm, all right? It's not like you get in a starship and you go halfway across the galaxy to another planetary system. It's this. It's here. We transform it. Okay? We transform it. Knowingly. And so when we transform it, we start to experience that energy, that frequency. And it's so wonderful that we are motivated to stay there. And all these things about forgiving yourself, surrendering on a daily basis, letting go, is part of it. You see, it's not like snap your fingers and say, oh, I'm there. It's all done for me. Where's the fun in that? That'd get really boring, wouldn't it? If everything was always done for you 24/7 all the time. You would diminish. Oh, it sounds great at first, doesn't it? But you would eventually diminish. So we have a very clear, precise direction into heart-mindedness. This is the transformation of the civilization, that we master ego, mind, and our thoughts and move into heart-mindedness. We experience our true power, which has been sitting there within us for a very, very, very long time. And it's kind of like you say to yourself, you go over all this, and you know in your heart, mind, that it is true. It's truthful. You can feel vibration of it. It's not made up. It's not a guess. You know, it's not a bunch of fluff and smoke and mirrors. It's the real deal. And when you review it and you look at it, you say, well, it's time for me to embrace this and to run with it, to go with it. Permanently. Not looking back, not turning back, not turning around, not doubting, not second-guessing, but full embrace permanently. People want to know, what is the transition? That's it. From 3D to 5D. Okay? 3, 4, 5. You could go 3, 3.5, 3 3/4. I mean, you could do it any way you want. But 3, 4, 5, and onward. And it's all up to us because, like I've said several times, everything we need is within us. We are outfitted to the hilt. We have all the bells and whistles that you could possibly amass. There isn't anything we do not have for this endless journey. I join you in meditation. I'll return to close this out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body. Focus on your breath, rising and falling. Enlightenment comes like a bolt of lightning. It can trickle throughout your life like a slow, soothing stream. Investigate today how you casually react to people. Notice if you generally have a protective hardness, lightness, resistance, friendliness, defensiveness, pushiness, or perhaps a needy energy. Watch what typical reaction you have with others, and don't change it. Let it change into something else on its own. Be patient with it. Ask it questions that might unravel its path. Not be attached to what comes about. Simply drop into it profoundly. Choose to be in your heart of your programming, deeply, and let the self-realization come out of it. This is the only thing that will stop the habits and is how you will evolve quickly in your consciousness. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening, night, and following morning. We'll return here tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call and all the rest. And Saturday, September 27, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart. Allow magic to flow in.